In this video, we're going to talk about one of the top neighborhoods in Charlotte, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. The median price right now is $395,000, which I think is very affordable, relatively speaking. And we're going to talk about the pros of this neighborhood, what are some of the negatives, and all of those things in between. So let's get started. All right, so my name is Chris. I help people every day, just like you, figure out where to move within Charlotte or relocate here from a different area. And in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the more affordable parts of Charlotte, because let's face it, things are definitely expensive. Homes now, I mean, it's amazing to see how many million plus neighborhoods that we have. I just scratch my head at it all the time. And in this video, I'm going to talk about one of the best neighborhoods. I mean, there are a small handful that I can point to and say, hey, here's a good opportunity for you to get into at a pretty good price, and it's going to offer some good things for you. And so one of those neighborhoods is Windsor Park in Charlotte. All right, so first things first, like the location of it. Windsor Park is on the east side of Charlotte. If you're not familiar with the area, we have downtown. We call it Uptown. It's in the center, and we have this loop around all of Charlotte, the 485 loop. On the east side of Uptown, you have one of the best neighborhoods in all of Charlotte. It's my favorite, Plaza Midwood, where we moved to first when we relocated here from upstate New York all the way down to Charlotte. We fell in love with Plaza Midwood, and so many things that neighborhood has. Well, the prices there are pretty expensive. So just past that is Windsor Park. So you got Plaza Midwood to the east of Uptown. Then you have Country Club Heights, and then you cross Eastway, and then you have Windsor Park neighborhood. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So this neighborhood is bordered by Eastway Drive on the west side. You have Central Ave on the south side of the neighborhood. You have North Sharon Amity on the right, on the east side of the neighborhood. And then on the north side, you have Shamrock Drive. All right, now technically, there are a couple of other smaller neighborhood-ish. We have Markham Village, which is on the west side, tiny area. And then, a couple of other, like Kilbourne Acres and a few others. So if you're looking at listings and you're seeing different names there, just know the area that I'm talking about is going to encompass all of those. Mainly, we call that area Windsor Park, and everything in this little square here, this quadrant, is what we're referring to. So there are roughly 11,000 households that live in Windsor Park. The median household income is a little bit below the area median income. So the median income for this, $61,000. Keep in mind that this data, you pull in these big data sites, it's going to pull in people who are renting apartments and things like that. So just take that with a grain of salt, right? Now, niche.com has ranked Windsor Park the #1 most diverse neighborhood in all of Charlotte. Now, that's diversity of everything: ethnicity, your age, family size, education levels, all the above. And I thought that was really unique and interesting. And I had heard a few things here or there about some of that diversity, especially when it comes to like food locations in this section, which we'll get to in a minute. Now, niche.com also gives this neighborhood, Windsor Park, a B rating overall. So they look at things like crime and schools and homes and all. They look at everything, and so it's going to give it a B rating overall. All right, so the homes here in Windsor Park, pretty much it's going to be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, roughly 1,500 square feet, built in the 60s. They're almost all brick ranches for the most part. You have really good wide lots, relatively. It's 75-foot wide lots, which is pretty good for being this close to the city. And lot sizes are going to be anywhere from like 0.27 on average. They go all the way up to a half an acre, though, in some instances. So that is really good. All right. It has good tree canopy, this neighborhood. That's a positive. And the prices are going to range anywhere from like $300,000 flat, roughly, all the way up to just above $700,000 right now. But the median price is $395 for active listings. Right now, there's 21 active listings in this area. There's a good amount of homes that are going to transact each year, which means that is some opportunity that will come up, because there's some little pockets where there's just very few homes that will become available. So limited opportunity to get into the neighborhood. But with 125 transactions per year, people selling their home in the neighborhood, that opens things up a good amount. So now the #1 biggest reason I think that's been driving these values, and I kind of skipped over a little bit here, but this neighborhood has basically grown double the rate of the rest of the region. on average. So Charlotte has been growing at roughly 2.7% since last year, right? This is across the board. Windsor Park, 6.2%, I believe, a little over 6% growth since last year. And so that's a really good, and I think the trajectory of this neighborhood is also going to just continue to increase, just given all the things that we'll cover here. And also going further, I did find a neighborhood that has grown at 16% since last year. So stick around to the end of the video to find out which neighborhood that is. All right, so back to the number one biggest driver, I think, for the Windsor Park neighborhood, you have overall proximity, right? So it's right next door to Plaza Midwood. So Plaza Midwood is 3 miles away, roughly. It's just a quick drive. You're probably going to drive to it. You can walk, depending on where you live in Windsor Park. If you wanted to, you can just go up Central Ave. But for the most part, I think you'll probably just hop in a car. There's other details on that as well that I'll cover here. But you're just a few minutes away from Plaza Midwood. You're less than 15-minute commute to Uptown. I talk to people every day, and we're trying to figure out, okay, where can we look given what we want out of the property? Everybody wants a short commute time to Uptown, which is where a lot of people work. This is going to offer a commute less than 15 minutes to Uptown. Very hard to beat. So it's 6 miles roughly to Uptown. And then South End is 8 miles. So not too much further in terms of drive time either. So it's another 2-3 minutes to, past Uptown, basically. So you're looking at like a 17-18 minute commute to South End. Very good for Charlotte. It's hard to find that. So the other benefit here to Windsor Park is it has a lot of good access to parks. Numerous parks to go to. Kilbourne Park is basically right in the neighborhood. And that is, it has like disc golf. It has a skateboarding park. There's a 1 mile walking loop that you can, take advantage of as well. Now, just south of Central Avenue, you have a 77-acre evergreen nature preserve. And this is beautiful protected land with very tall trees that you can, just escape. You can get out there, and it's right next to Sheffield Park. Sheffield Park has like a playground and things like that. So they kind of connect. Park your vehicle in Sheffield Park, which has more parking than the limited parking available for the Evergreen Trail. Just a heads up on that. Now, other nearby parks, you have 900 acres at the Reedy Creek Nature Preserve. It's a little bit northeast of this neighborhood. Bring the family out, friends, pets, just run around. You can do that there. And then greenways, you're going to have quick access to do greenways, Briar Creek and Campbell Creek greenways as well. A couple of other amenities that you could have, easy access to in this area. You have the Eastway Regional Recreational Facility, which is just like for like youth sports and things like that. And then right within the Windsor Park neighborhood, you have the Charlotte Museum of History. So if you're into that sort of thing too, you can check out, I guess there's the 1774 Alexander Rock House, and you can do guided or self-guided tours. I haven't done that myself, but I think that stuff's kind of cool, actually. Now, in terms of other things, if you're like eating out or just eating in general, you have hundreds of restaurants right next door in Plaza Midwood. Great places to hang out, bars, breweries, little food spots. I mean, Plaza Midwood is a great, cool little place. There's a farmer's market right in Plaza Midwood as well. You're 14 minutes or so to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. That's going to be in like the metropolitan area. And then Whole Foods is on like the west side of Uptown. So you can get to that pretty quickly. I think I briefly mentioned this east side of Charlotte, I guess, and I'm not the best with trying new food spots, quite frankly. I'm just busy running around for most of the time. But I guess there's a lot of little like mom and pop international food locations, like local, smaller grocery marts, as well as like, for example, there's a Vietnamese place, Crispy Banh Mi. There's an Ethiopian restaurant. There's the European, it's Euro Grill Cafe. Haven't eaten at these places, but I have heard from other people and on social media that those are some really cool places to eat at with really good food. So that's another plus for this area if you're into that. Development. Now, development happens everywhere in Charlotte, like everywhere in every direction. Some of the ones that are happening over on this east side, here you have the Gold Line streetcar extension, right? So that's phase 3 right now. They're still finishing up like the designing of what it's really gonna, be, but they're gonna extend that Gold Line streetcar several more stops. They're going to add like 17 more stops to it, and that will take you further out along Central Avenue. So the Gold Line runs through Uptown right now, comes out along Central Avenue, and they're going to take it further down Central all the way to it's the Eastland Community Transit Center, and that is another new development site. It's the Eastland Yards, which, so like the Eastland Yards there used to be the Eastland Mall. They tore it down in 2013, and they've been working on this site for many years. And so that is currently in the development, like they're putting up townhomes and single family homes right now, but that Gold Line will stop right there. And so that's pretty cool. So the Eastland Yards, though, it's 80-acre project. It's a mixed use project. They have sports and entertainment facilities for like amateur sports, so like just public use, essentially. They'll have retail places, shopping, dining, and you have a 4.5-acre park that will be right on Central Ave, which I'm hearing is going to be really cool. So the updated park concept includes 2 lawn areas, 1 artificial and 1 natural turf with terrace seating, walking trails, covered picnic and performance areas, playgrounds, the hillside play, spray ground, multi-purpose court area. So for like basketball and hockey, skatable elements, fenced dog lounge, seating and landscaping, you get the idea. So pretty cool. And they are going to have residential homes to both purchase and rent. There'll be like senior housing and other apartments for people to live in. And I think the single family homes right now are actually for sale. There's only going to be a handful of those. Those are in the low 500s right now. A lot happening in every direction in Charlotte. And I think that this is just a good area though for future growth. I really do. The schools here, you have 3. You have the public schools are Windsor Park Elementary School. That's ranked 6 out of 10 according to greatschools.org. You have Eastway Middle School ranked a 7 out of 10, which is pretty good, really good for Charlotte. And then Garinger High School is a 1 out of 10. Not great, but check out different school websites to kind of see what's most important to you. They're going to give different types of rankings on different ones. So you have Carolina School Hub and greatschools.org, niche.com, stuff like that. All right, so those are all the pros. Those are all the things that I think are positives for Windsor Park. Let's talk about the negatives. So what are some of the things that are not great about Windsor Park? Number 1, and not in any particular order here, I'm going to have lack of style and diversity, basically. And what I mean by that is diversity in like the property types. So these are all going to be, 95% will be brick ranches. There is tree canopy in the neighborhood. You do have some well-developed trees, which helps. It really does. Like these trees down here in the south, like they're beautiful. They give you shade and they add just a sense of character to everything. However, the property types here, we don't see a big option. You're not going to see a lot of, there's some split level homes, but like for the most part, everything is a brick ranch built in 1960. It's just the way that it is. And so you don't have a lot of 2-story homes or larger homes. A lot of them are going to be roughly 14 to 1,500 square feet, 3 beds, 2 baths. Only roughly 15 or less % will have garages. You're probably not going to find a garage unless it was some form of maybe addition, in most cases at least. I'll also add to this the walkability. So the walkability is going to rank pretty low on Windsor Park. Now you could say this for most neighborhoods in Charlotte, right? Like it's hard to hit like everything on the head here. Walkability is going to rank in the 30% out of 100% in terms of how easy it is to walk to amenities, restaurants, everything, right? Like the reality of it is you need a car to live in Charlotte. And so this is no exception. Now there are sidewalks in the neighborhood. So the sidewalks are going to be just on a few streets, though not on every street. And it's going to be just on one side of the street, which is also common for Charlotte. So like, for example, Sudbury Road, Darbrook, Havenwood, Abbeydale, those are a few streets that have sidewalks. Most of the others will not. I would put that's, a negative. But now I think overall though, if you look at it, like with a median price of $395, and you can find homes in there, now for lower 300s here or there. A lot of them are in the lower 4s. Like I think that gives a great opportunity from a price standpoint for a lot of people to get into homes at a more affordable price, and whether, you know, some of these will already be fixed up, some of them won't, but that's going to be something that you can kind of assess to figure out which route would be better for you and everything. But I think overall, I think Windsor Park definitely has like way more pluses than it does, you know, negatives, in my opinion. You know, you're looking for a place to invest in or just, you know, buy and live in it for a few years. You know, there's already a few that are selling in the 700s. I think that's going to continue to happen. You know, if you look at this neighborhood relative to Plaza Midwood, which is right next door, the median price in Plaza Midwood is like $700,000 right now. This is kind of the way that Charlotte has always grown. Now, I can't say that Windsor Park is going to be the next Plaza Midwood or anything, but, you know, I certainly think it's an area that I could see definitely continuing to grow. I do talk to people who are looking for larger homes that are looking to areas like Windsor Park specifically, and similar, for lots to build on. They could tear that home down. And there are plenty of buyers that can afford to pay $350 for a tear down lot and put up a new home. You know, that is something that we definitely see here in Charlotte. I think that with the income levels, particularly 2-income households, that is often a scenario that they're seriously considering. It's just logistically, how can they pull that off? I think that Windsor Park can provide that as well. So I think hopefully this helps a little bit. Now, if you are curious to figure out or hear what is the neighborhood that is growing at 16% since last year, Barclay Downs, South Park area. It's right next to the South Park Mall, 16%. Now check this out. The median price in Barclay Downs, $1.27 million. To give you some context, pretty wild to think about. That growth is unreal, but not surprising. You have excellent school district there. People can walk their kids to school, and their elementary, middle, and high school is all right in one little block. Perfect living, easy for families. So lots to love about the Charlotte area here. But thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions on Windsor Park, other neighborhoods, definitely I'd love to hear your comments. If you want to hear information or my thoughts on other neighborhoods, definitely want to hear that too. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.